Hi, my name is Michael Hollins. I am the managing attorney here at the Hollins Bankruptcy Law Office, where we practice bankruptcy law. Today, I'd like to answer the question and deal with the topic of what is the Chapter 7 timeline. I'd like to go through exactly what you can expect when filing a Chapter 7 from the filing period all the way to the discharge. Now, this will be a high-level view, and there are some things that may happen as well in your particular case, but this will give you a great template that you can follow when you are filing Chapter 7 and you kind of know what to expect, okay? So, but first, again, if you'd like any additional information on bankruptcy, please head on over to hollinsbankruptcy.com. Feel free to give us a call at 844-233-2837. That's 844-2-DEBT-FREE. Okay, now dealing with the Chapter 7 timeline. So the first thing that happens before we can really talk about the Chapter 7 timeline is that you do what I just mentioned. You give us a call here at Hollins Bankruptcy Law Office, and we schedule a time for you to bring in your documentation so that your petition can be completed. Once we have the documentation, your legal fees are paid, then we file your petition. Now, there is one credit counseling class that happens also before we file the petition, but for the purposes of this particular video where we're talking about the timeline is going to start on the petition day. But just know that there is a little bit of homework in getting documentation up front, and then also paying your legal fees and taking one credit counseling class. All right, and so now on to the timeline. The petition is filed. That is day one of our timeline. 30 days from that petition being filed, you can expect to be scheduled for what we call a 341 meeting of creditors. That is a meeting where the creditors have an opportunity to ask questions of you regarding the information that we put forth in the petition. Likewise, the trustee may ask questions in that the trustee actually represents the creditors. So oftentimes, the creditors, they don't really come to this meeting. They have the opportunity. Sometimes they don't take it. The trustee represents them and asks questions. But of course, the petition was made from the documentation you submitted. So you have all the answers you need. All the information is there to answer the questions of the trustee. Now, if you'd like a little more information about that, head on over again to hollinsbankruptcy.com. I have other videos and blog posts dealing specifically with the meeting of creditors. So that's what you can expect 30 days after filing. Now, 60 days after filing, this is where you can look to see if there are any objections to discharge. When we file the petition, my job is to protect your assets. And so the assets are protected by something we call exemptions. Those exemptions can be objected to by a creditor or by the trustee. And so 60 days out from that petition date, those objections typically begin to roll in or have rolled in, and we're dealing with them at that point. But in a smooth Chapter 7, which is what we hope for, there are no objections. All of the assets are protected, and then we're moving forward. So 30 days from that point, 45 to 60 days again from the petition date is when you can expect to get your discharge from the court. You will get a discharge saying that all the debts that we put forward have been discharged, and you can move on with that fresh start that we talked about. Now, the fresh start actually happens kind of when you actually file the petition, because when you file the petition, an automatic stay takes place and no creditor can come after you. They should not be garnishing you, foreclosing, evicting. You are protected by the court immediately, and that gives you a reprieve or a little bit of a fresh start right there. Now, of course, those creditors, like I mentioned, they can object and they can ask for that stay to be removed. But once we get to that 45 to 60 days out from the petition date and the debts are discharged, then we are good to go and you have your fresh start that we hope for. So I hope this timeline was helpful. Again, it's a high-level view. There are some other things that could happen in there, but this is just kind of giving you some mile markers, if you will, as to what you could expect. Now, again, over at hollandsbankruptcy.com, I have other videos and blog posts dealing with exemptions, dealing with the 341 meeting, dealing with the petition and what needs to be a part of that, and then also talking about your case being closed and discharged. So if you really want some more information, feel free to head on over to my website or go to YouTube and look at my videos there as well. So again, my name is Michael Hollins, and I'd like to thank you for listening, and I'd like to give you my phone number one more time. It is 844-2-DEBT-FREE. That's 844-233-2837. And you can also reach us in our local numbers in your area, which should be on your screen right now. Okay, thank you again for listening. Everybody have a great day and stay warm.